Hi, beautiful. A great day. I always hope that you guys had a great day. So I titled this Marijuana Talk with Mrs. Intel. All right. So I'm hoping to have a friendly conversation and stuff like that. And, just go over some things with you guys. And I am by no means trying to compare one drug to another. And I'm definitely not trying to demonize marijuana or people that smoke it. I just want to have a conversation about it. And I thought, who wants to have that conversation with? Who wants to have that conversation with besides Pizarro? Okay. So, what are you saying? Let me. I can't. Okay, let me do that. So I just thought, that we'll come and we'll talk about it. So, wait, let me send her a quick message. Hang on, y'all. How you doing, Juicy? Hang on one second. So what I'm gonna do, what I was thinking of having someone that smoked versus having someone that doesn't smoke, and if you guys have your opinions, I'm really interested in it because there was a few things that what's good, Daniel. So I do want to talk about marijuana, but again, I'm not comparing anything. You guys, let me know your thoughts. And the reason is it's like more and more people are using it and saying that there's no side effects. Some people are asking, is it a gateway drug? I, for one, did a poll wondering if marijuana was a gateway drug. And actually, as I was doing the research, my opinions have changed on it. And that's what it is. That's what it is. So I'm going to share that with you guys. And in the meantime, okay, some people are talking about my post before Pizarro gets here. Do you see how you're doing today? I want to be on cloud 9 with you with the rolled up green. I misunderstood. Okay, WaterX. I'm going to turn my air conditioner on, but I'm telling you, I do not mind that people smoke. WaterX. And anything could be a gateway to anything. Marijuana, cigarettes. I learned a lot doing this research that I was doing. But I do want to have a serious conversation with you guys. Let me turn on my air condition because I'm hot. I don't know if I'm hot or nervous about getting cursed out. And that's okay. Let me turn on my air condition. Hey, Tesla, I will be right back. I'm feeling hot. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God. How are you, Tesla? So, you're smoking hot. A firefighter couldn't contain you. Misunderstood. Water. Stay focused. You might be getting menopause. Misunderstood. No, I had my heater on from this morning, and so I was feeling hot. All right. So some of you guys, as I wait for Pizarro, are talking about my post. Have you guys ever heard the term Baby Friday? Baby Friday is used when you have a 3-day weekend and Thursday is your Friday, so we call it Baby Friday. So no, I do know what's good, Rico. I do know that today is Thursday, but when I say Happy Baby Friday, I'm saying like happy the day before Friday. Okay, that's all it means. MU, I hope all is well. All is well. What's good with you, Rico? Rico, you've been in a lot of places. So, Rico, I'm talking about marijuana today, and I'm going to start with this. Since Pizarro's not here, I'm going to start with this. Do you guys feel that marijuana is a gateway drug? Okay, I asked you guys on this community post, and I think majority of you said no. Let me just double check that. And some of you cursed me out in my email, and that's all right. Let me look to see what that was. Should I address Rico? I think most of you said no. Yeah, 54% of you said no, 33% of you said yes. Hey, Emils, what's good with you? I personally feel it can be with alcohol. I feel that it can be too, but I kind of think that if you already have an addictive personality, more so, because there's been so many people. Now the researchers aren't sure. Okay, I went through a lot of articles and they're just not 100% sure. And some of the articles that I've read, and I'm talking about journals, said no. So I get, if you have an addictive personality, then you're probably addicted anyway. What's good, Mulatto? Hey, King. So you're probably going to get addicted. And it also talked about like cannabis induced psychosis, and said that if you are prone to having psychosis already, then you're more at risk of having cannabis induced psychosis. So I thought all that stuff is interesting, because a lot of people say that marijuana has no side effects, but it does have side effects. But I'm not going to take away from its medicinal purposes either. And so I do think about marijuana often. A lot of times, hey, hi, what's good? I have not seen you for a while. Emails. Only if you're greedy for a higher high, which you can't get any higher than you are. See, I know some people. Hey, Bird. I used to smoke herb daily back when I lived in Cali. Let me tell you guys what else I did not realize as I was talking about marijuana. I didn't realize that it was so controversial. I didn't. But it talked about that. Like some of these articles said right away that it's a controversial subject. And you guys see that. So in California, it's legal for recreational purposes. And other places it's legal for just medicinal purposes. Give me some time. I'm finishing my cooking. Okay, well, if you can join it, that'd be good. But okay, Pizarro, just let me know and I'll drop a link for you. So other places said that, I just listened to them. In California, we have it where you could just get it as long as you're over the age of 18. Now, I know some people that have used it under the age of 18, and I'm going to tell you right now, I do feel that using it under the age of 18, from what I was reading and the research I have done, does impair your memory, your short-term memory, and it impacts your motivation because your brain is not fully developed. And it said the younger you use, the more damages that you would have because of how developed your brain is. So what's good, Nappy Chow? I used to smoke herb daily back when I was in California. Okay, so how did that affect you? AKD says, asking me versus asking my husband, you get AKD, do you smoke? And if you don't, I really wanted to get someone else on the panel that didn't smoke. Pizarro smokes, but use myself since I didn't get that. But I don't know if I qualify. Well, I just, y'all know my history. I don't need to go into it, but because, okay, so they asked people that used heavier drugs, right? If they have used marijuana, and they said yes. But if you ask somebody that have used marijuana, like a majority of people, if they use heavier drugs, a lot of them will say no. I could tell you guys, I didn't start with marijuana, so I'm not even thinking about myself right now, but I could tell you that I can't say it doesn't have side effects. I think that when we're talking about marijuana, we just talking about all the positive stuff, and we never really talk about the negative stuff, like if it does impact motivation. You got some people that can't function a day without using it, and so would they consider that an addiction? And there's just things that I want to know. He isn't an addict. I got you, AKD. And I get that too. Thank you, King. Pizarro, you post a pic of that dish. Oh, Pizarro's cooking. I'm almost done. I finished with yellow rice, barbecue chicken wings, and mixed vegetables. I'm just waiting on my croissants. Oh, that sounds good. It's hard for me to speak from an ad. It's hard for me not to speak from an addict mind. Mine too, AKD. Mine too. Okay, Shay. What's good, Benz? Benz, how you feeling? Business was an accident, so making sure she's doing okay. Water, no. So let me ask you to keep the conversation going. Okay, ask me what. All right, you guys, let me pull something up. So I have something to. Do you guys let me share? Okay. Let me find. Let me find this article that I had got for you guys. Okay, I'm just gonna read this to you guys. All right, now keep an open mind because it's just a discussion, and I am not again trying to demonize anything because I do understand that it helps in some situations, like with cancer. It's been what else? Seizures. I know someone who takes it, and it for seizures, it's been. Hi, Foxy Brown. So let me read this to you. There's some evidence showing that long-term use of marijuana may reduce blood flow to the brain. This could cause problems in the function of the hippocampus, which could, did I say that right? Hippocampus, which could ultimately leave people at a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's, which is a type of dementia. And the hippocampus plays a primary role in developing and influences development of marijuana. So the level at which marijuana use can affect this part of the brain is important to understand. So some of these things I did have trouble with a little bit. I'm still a little bit sore, but doing okay, thanks. Some of these things I did have trouble with, but then when I think about some of the people that I know that smoke, I'm just wondering if it affects them, like if they went a day without smoking, like how would they feel? Would they feel depressed or whatever? Because I think that we could be addicted to anything, and sometimes we don't know that we're addicted until we try to quit something. Okay, so a lot of people I can't look at my messages because y'all already cursed me out. Okay, I get it. I'm not comparing it to meth. All right, so you guys don't send me those things in my inbox. A lot of people don't like to consider themselves addict, and I'm not calling you guys an addict. All I'm saying is whether it's drinking or smoking cigarettes or anything like that, that sometimes we're used to doing it, and if we tried to quit, it would be a problem. So wouldn't that be addiction? AKD says food was my first addiction. Okay. And how are you doing it with it now? I'm struggling with sugar. I'm trying to get off sugar, and I can't. Like, I just had this sweet tea right now. I'm down to one sweet tea. I was doing okay without it for a while, but now I'm back on the, hey, Bella. Now I'm back, with the sweet tea. Just one a day. Addiction is addiction, AKD, but people don't see it that way. And I feel that the reason people don't see it that way is because they don't want to consider themselves addict. But we're addicted to a lot of things. We're addicted to distraction, gambling, all those kind of things. And I think that, okay, I was 215 pounds at 15 years old. Wow, AKD. So how are you doing now? Water X says marijuana could keep you in a slow state of mind, makes you lazy over time. What's good, real fact? So I did look into that as well. And I looked into that as well. And it did suggest that it decreases motivation in some people. So, yeah. Real Fact says that marijuana robs you of, oh shoot, I highlighted the wrong comment. Sorry. What's good, newbie? Marijuana robs you of ambition. I went from food to alcohol, marijuana, and cigarettes, and then from therefore introduced to cocaine, and that is when my life became unmanageable. Do you feel, I went from food to alcohol, marijuana? There's something I was thinking about, you guys. So do you feel that it's a gateway drug and that marijuana could lead you to wanting harder substances? Or do you feel that if you have an addictive personality, you're going to be addicted to it to whatever anyway, because you have a need for something to make you feel better, regardless if it's food, cigarettes, or whatever. It uplifts your mood in some kind of way, and then it becomes a part of your routine. So maybe we can't say that marijuana itself is a gateway, because I also think that, okay, we could say the same thing about alcohol and cigarettes, and maybe and even food. And I don't think we realize just how food can damage us as well. What's good, Asabi? Hey, President. Leave it so wants to leave. Okay, let me. Alcohol is the worst of all. Alcohol is really hard on your body, and not all heavy drinkers become. You okay? Because not all heavy drinkers become alcoholics. Okay, but 6% does, and for those 6%, life is hell, because it does take a toll on your body after a while. Let me bring up Themaso. Hey, Themaso.
Hey, I said, Lord, let me roll up. I said, let me roll up for this conversation. You get it?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Not up.
No, I'm okay. For the record, for people that don't know, hey, you guys, this is TMO. My addiction used to be cleaning. That sounds like a healthy addiction, Nappy Child. Did it interfere with your life? Okay. Do you smoke marijuana? For those that don't know, I already know your history. You're on mute.
You asking the chat to take a poll, or you? What you say? You
No, I'm just
asking me?
asking you so we can have the conversation. So some people will know. I'm on topic, free thinker. So some people will know if you smoke or not smoke. So I'm a non-smoker. All right. So are you a casual user? Like we're not being weed haters. I'm just trying to say, I'm just asking if you smoke occasionally or not.
Mostly edibles, but yeah, occasionally. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Just so people will know. Okay, so I don't hey S. Hutchison. All right. So I'm gonna just ask the question, and this is not an argument. This is just, two people with different with opinions. But do you feel that okay, you use edibles, so have you
I use
experienced
it
any
mostly for
negative side effects?
pain. Well, I would have to go to pain management if I did use it because I'm fused from like. But before that, I want to get my band side away. I wasn't free thinking. How come you assumed I was gonna immediately come in here and get off subject? All I said, well, I was on subject. I said I came. I said I decided to roll up over and see what the subject is, get it, and then I was gonna make a little joke and say that of course the weed head is late because they forget what they supposed to be doing on time. And what the hell is Pizarro? And then what else was I gonna say? Um. Oh, you look like you sleepy
I
or
look like I'm sleeping. No,
yeah,
I'm
like you.
awake. I'm awake. I went to work, and I had to do like the last time I researched. Dolly, I see you. How you doing, Dolly?
Hey,
Welcome.
darling.
Look it. And I
Why
was
would you not?
live
You
with
wait, hold up. You
somebody.
weren't trying to speak to darling. Why weren't you
No,
trying to speak
I
to?
adore Dolly. You know how I don't read the chat when
Uh-huh.
I'm in the middle of something. I like Dolly. Okay,
Hmm.
so you mostly do edibles, and that's it.
Yeah.
What can I say about edibles? Do you
Or
feel?
like gummies and stuff like that. But I mean, I do. I also will do like the Delta 8s. That's like like the real on CBD because 9 would be THC. But we don't have dispensaries, so technically it's not legal. In Tennessee, you have to go. The nearest state to us that it is legal at right now is Illinois. Ohio, I think, just got it passed, but Illinois actually has dispensaries. Um, I'm in the red Bible Belt. I'm surprised Georgia hasn't completely did it. They're blue now, and it's shocking that but it's still the South. So nobody and none of us are legal, like wide open. We can go to Oklahoma around us. We can go to, like I said, to Illinois, Vegas, all of that. So I do it, like I say, for pain control more so for anything, because if I did not, I would have to like literally go to pain management and like really take narcotics for the rest of my life because I'm fused from the top of my neck all the way down to my thoracic, which is deep in your chest. That's the lowest you can go, like completely fused. So I'm always in pain. So I find that helps me not need as much pain medicine or none at all at times, more so than anything. And you would think people be shocked, like when they have like been more open with it lately or whatever. And for Zara said, I've been figuring that shit out. But then Beasley, like, I just don't understand it because I was gonna suggest that you do smoke. I was gonna even send you some so you could calm down. And he was like, it is amazing that you still talk so fast and act like that, and you do that. He said it's like I never seen nothing like it because it does not make me be like slow talking. It makes me no effect on my speed of speech at all. People hate when I and with them when they smoking or doing things because they say I blow people highs. But yeah, I'm the same way.
And I want to say this because you said a lot. Okay, you guys, I don't have my phone, so if you're messaging me, I'm not getting it. All right. Um, it is about, so what Free Thinker says, it's about addiction, the positive and negative effects of marijuana. So you're talking about how it's benefited you and stuff like that. And I'm not saying there's no positive effects of marijuana because it's been proven. Marijuana has been used for medicinal purposes. But can we talk about some of the negative effects? Have you experienced
There
anything?
aren't any
You said there aren't any.
except for the smell when you smoke it. Ugh.
Okay, let me ask you this. And it's not.
But I'm not gonna be naive because, well, you might get to it because something that's gonna get ready to start happening that's happening with other stuff is I spoke to a detective and for Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, and they're already seeing fentanyl being put in weed, like laced in like small amounts, and they seized at the border just recently here. They caught someone with it was all in baggies, like to do like in like maybe ounces. They already had a section of ounces, and the amount of fentanyl that was in there, which is like it's like powder thin amount, like you can't even see it. The amount that was in each bag for individual use was enough to kill 2 horses.
Oh,
So I can't. I If we had this conversation maybe even a couple years ago, I would tell you, argue you down that ain't nothing bad to be from the earth or whatever. But the more and more you see how these people up in the ante with the louds and and you got to think about it. I mean, how loud all that loud stuff is, you messing with it. You're doing something to it. So you're changing the form of it. That's why I used to say I'm old school. I don't need all that. Give me that Reggie, that meat. I don't need all that fancy stuff. But it does. Once you smoke, of course you want to start smoking things like that. But I don't on the regular. But it's just gonna keep up in the ante. So why wouldn't they mix it with stuff? They already mix it with crack and other things like that. So why wouldn't they intensify it and say, you know what, I can get you the loudest loud ever, and that'll be fentanyl, but that'll be the loudest thing and the last thing you heard. So
especially if you're not getting it from a dispensary, we don't really know what's in it. And I'm wondering, when you're using gummies, how do you know how much how do you know how much THC is actually in it? Like, how is
I
it
mean,
regulated?
you see that's the thing because the stuff ain't so regulated when you getting it from regular people versus. But a lot of them people sometimes get it from dispensaries or get it from like mass marketplace. They'll tell you like how many. They'll say you got like 600 worth of THC. I forgot how it's measured. Milligrams. I forgot how it's measured. And people think that means each gummy is worth that. No, that's like the container contents of the bag, and they'll tell you what a serving is. But you're right. I mean, how heavy is the hand? We don't know how precise it is. I don't know if those gummies and things like that have to go through any FDA. I don't remember seeing anything on the back because everything doesn't have to go through the FDA if they classify it as certain things.
That's
So
true.
you're
The
right. We
St.
don't
John's
know. They could be
Church,
putting K2 in that shit.
there's some vitamins that didn't get approved by FDA. The drops that I was using wasn't approved by the FDA. So, Asabi says, I'm a mute you just while I'm speaking, just because of and then unmute when you want to talk, just because of the back noise. I have met some folks who were addicted to hard drugs, and their recovery was due to marijuana. What do you mean, Asabi? Do you mean that they recovered? Because I know some people that have smoked heroin, and sobriety for them is smoking marijuana. Sobriety doesn't look the same for everybody, and it's about harm reduction, and her life is perfectly fine and normal. I know quite a few people that have done that. So so I get it. Uh, Send me the link. Let me see something else. Why the hell is Pizarro? All right, anyone? Okay, so Anything that alters the mind is negative to me. Free thinker. Okay, so I have a question for you guys, because everyone keeps saying that marijuana is natural, right? And I'm not saying that it's not, but once it's been synthesized, do y'all still consider it natural? Because you're not just smoking what comes from the earth.
No, that loud and stuff, and all our different type of strains, and whether you getting the indigency. I mean, all the different strains and all the different names, all like the cushions and no, all that's manufactured. All that's they're putting chemicals in it too. That's not what actually naturally grows. I mean, when I don't know the process for regrowing the loud, because I've never seen that, but the process for regrowing like the regular marijuana, I've seen that. But no, that stuff does have chemicals in it. That's why they can make the intensity different and change it up, make it different colors, got it fur coming out of it or whatever.
Unmute your mic, Alexis. Hey,
Like they have all those runts, white
Hey,
runts, black runts. They have these different names and lines that they just keep on coming up with. So that means they're making the stuff themselves because
so
to
we
keep it
can't
as a
say that
name.
it's natural anymore, right? Because I would say with that argument, do you guys feel that mushrooms is harmless? Since we want to say, it came from the earth.
I've never done mushrooms, so I can't really speak on that one. But what I did want to say, I wanted to add something to what TMO was saying about, certain edibles and stuff like that. And if they are tested by the FDA, and most of them are not, they have their own independent lab tests, which, you know what I mean? Should we trust? Should we not trust? I don't know. I think you do have to be careful with the company that you decide to do business with, because I was just telling this story the other day. There was a smoke shop, because, a lot of the smoke shops, even in states where marijuana is not legal, they still sell, Delta 8. They sell HHC, which does have THC in it, but it doesn't have over a certain level of it. And it's protected, MedCheck is protected under the Farmers Bill Act. So that's how they're able to do it and sell it in states where marijuana is not allowed. However, this smoke shop in another city, not too far from me, they ended up getting closed down because they had found some packs of the edibles that had fentanyl in them. So that's something that you really do have to be careful with. But I feel like anything that's from the earth is good for us. But anything of too much of anything can be bad for anybody, whether it's food, sex, gambling, whatever. So that's what I wanted to say. I'm going mute while y'all talking.
You have a good point, and I see Free Thinker. Free Thinker is agreeing with Demon Soul, and Demon Soul does bring up some good points. And Charlotte, you brought up some good points as well. And Tesla brought up a good point by saying mushrooms is a completely different subject. So we'll talk about that another day, but we will talk about it. My thing is, when you're not getting it from a dispensary, right? It's not regulated, and you buy it, you don't know what's in it. All right, you don't know what's in it. I do feel, but here's my thing: the natural state of marijuana. Can we say that it's natural when it's been treated? Because y'all not smoking what comes from the earth just like that, even if you get it from dispensary. So I don't feel that we can still say that it's natural.
It depends where you're getting it from. Some people are getting it natural. Some people are getting it from the dispensary, which is different. So yeah, it's two different things. But see, here's the thing: controlled pain medication, which is tested through the FDA. Do you know what's in that medication? Have you ever taken controlled substance pain pills and then went and took a urine test and seen the positive stuff that comes up on it? That's when I've really learned what's in this pain medication. And I really think that it's really a setup anyway from the government. And just the whole, see, I could go into a whole rant on this whole thing, because they give you a little pain medication, your body gets used to it, you need more, it's not working or whatever. But a lot of those pills, that stuff got meth in it. It got all kind of different stuff in it. So just because the FDA or the government is approving it or testing it doesn't mean this is the best thing for us.
You're right. Especially, we would have to look at what are the guidelines for something to be FDA approved, because some things were FDA approved and pulled or recalled, whatever you call it. So I do understand. What do you guys think about this? Soul Fight says, I've used since I was 14. I suppose I'm addicted. It's not great for my OCD, but it does wonders for my Crohn's disease. Worked full time, got my master's degree where I use it and never been lazy. So you're talking about the pros and cons of using, just like with any other substance or any other thing that you use, whatever. There's gonna be pros and cons, right? Do we agree on that? I'm gonna go on mute.
I think yes, but I do think that marijuana, just in my personal opinion, I am more of an eater of it than a smoker. And even if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna vape versus like rolling up, just because I just think it's so just me, no shade to nobody else, but I just don't think it looks ladylike when women like roll up or smoke, whether it be cigarettes, weed, or whatever. But yeah, I think that, you know, there's pros and cons to everything, but I think that marijuana has more good benefits in it than bad benefits. That's what I think.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you guys the research that I've been doing I'm going to bring you in right now, Alexis. The research that I've been doing did change my mind on a few things. Mostly, like the gateway thing, I was always on the fence about, because the experts can't even agree if it's a gateway drug or not. So I think that, do you have an addictive personality? Are you looking and you start using, you want something stronger? I don't think that's everybody. I do think that if you use a heavier drug, you may be more likely to use marijuana, but I can't say it's the other way around. But will I say it's a gateway drug? I can't say that. I have to say that if you have an addictive personality, you're prone to using, then why wouldn't you try other stuff if it was given to you?
I would say this. I'm sorry. I have many different health issues, and I just had some tests done on Saturday. And I will tell you that even with the changes and the new recent stuff that I'm seeing on these tests or whatever, I feel like marijuana, you know, or THC, should I say, has been the best thing for me. Does that mean it's going to be the best thing for everybody? Maybe, maybe not. But for me, it has helped me tremendously with different things. I feel like even with the controlled substance, I think that's kind of like a setup situation. I think, to me, if anything, that needs to be more regulated, because I don't know if you know about like how drugs, not even just controlled substance, but how drugs in general are approved through the FDA, and how they do it through what is it called? Through like when you do, not surveys, somebody help me out. What's the word?
Trials, like when the doctors,
yeah,
okay,
like trials or whatever. I can't think of the right name.
Well, like they'll give the doctors, the drug reps, you know, they'll give the doctors new medication and ask them to try it basically out on patients. That's how,
like when you're in, like through like,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they'll give you, like, they'll put you through, what do y'all call it? Y'all know what she's talking about. When they like those studies they do, like the study.
Yeah, like a study.
Yeah, I can't think of the exact name, but
qualify for the study, they'll give you treatment, etc. Clinical trials. Thank you, Dolly.
Clinical trials. Alexis, you have some horrible feedback, huh? Maybe click off and come right back on.
Shelly with the
you know how I'm with the sound, I can't take it.
Asabi says, I don't feel Mary Jane is a gateway. I think people that was Alexis. I think people who have trauma want to escape drugs are so bad. And we do know that addiction and trauma changes, trauma changes the brain. And so there is a connection between people who have experienced trauma, childhood trauma, and things like that to addiction. So we can't say that. So right, Asabi, I agree with you. Research studies. Thank you, Sophie.
Yeah, research studies. Yeah, I didn't know how many, like, at first I didn't know that how like a new drug or whatever, they could put it in a research study and it could fail. Like, you know, 1,000 people could say it didn't work for them. But as long as they can have 5 studies with positive results, then they can put it out in pharmacies and stuff. So just because the FDA has approved it, or just because it's went through the FDA regulations, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, it's the best thing for us. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to like know your body and realize is what works for your body, because there's a lot of medication that doctors are not going to tell you it can be used for something else. Like they're not going to tell you that Benadryl can be used for migraines. They're not going to tell you that Benadryl can be used for anxiety. They're not going to tell you that certain muscle relaxers will help somebody with Crohn's disease. You know what I'm saying? They may give you some other stuff that makes you feel worse. And then, you know, mental health, that's a whole nother different thing. But, you know, I digress. I just say that overall, marijuana, I think, is probably one of the better things that people could use. But you do have to be careful, because if you do have an addictive personality, or if you feel like eventually you want something stronger, or you want to start mixing it with stuff, then that's just a whole different separate situation. On mute.
Hey, thank you, Shelly. Hey, Sonetter from the House of Consciousness says, I need all the haters, men and women, to stop hating on the Queen Misunderstood. Check. Welcome, Sonetter. How you doing? Yeah, y'all stop hating. Asavi, I appreciate all of y'all support. You guys support me a lot, and you know. So when I'm talking about this subject, I just want you guys to know that there's pros and cons. I'm not looking down on anyone that smokes marijuana at all. I'm just asking these questions, and I'm just asking questions about addiction and what you guys think about it, and just stuff for us to think about. I know that there's medicinal purposes, and I also know that an addict, somebody that's prone to getting addicted to heavier substances because of whatever they've been through in life, that's not what a lot of you are talking about. A lot of you are just saying, hey, you know what? It helps me with this. It helps me sleep. It helps me relax. So it's just conversation. All right. Asabi says her husband is a doctor. He refuses to give out oxy. So yeah, I get it.
Even so, why they don't, you know, I get it. I really do. I just wanted to ask everyone on the panel, as far as the states that they're living in, the states that you're in right now, is it legal or not legal? I think California is legal, right?
For recreational purposes, yep.
Recreational purposes. How about where TMO is at? Is it or is it not? And what about you, Alexis?
Oh no, Tennessee, it's not legal for anything right now.
So anything that you get, you're getting it from another state, or you're getting it?
Yeah, like if I have to, we have to go to, I have to go to Illinois, or like Chris said, if I'm going through Oklahoma or Michigan. So we have to drive. The closest is Illinois. That's the closest to me. The closest
Wow.
is.
You know what I thought was a little bit wild? Like before Maryland became legal, DC had it where they couldn't really sell it. They could give it to you, but they couldn't sell it to you, right? And you could give them something back in return. So it's like, misunderstood, you're going to give me a necklace as a gift because you can't sell it to me. I appreciate it, and I'm going to give you a tip. There's an offering of $20. So that's how they had it at one point. And I thought that was kind of like just strange and wild, but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds weird to me. It just that don't sound right.
The government don't have no problem with no weed. I mean, because pain alcohol and pain pills are way worse. They just ain't feel completely wrapped around how they want to monetize it for themselves, and how they want to structure it, and how they want to control it as far as to get the most money out of it. Because ultimately, I don't think most states have no ethical or moral attachment to it. It's just about how to not let it get out of control and how they can benefit the most. So they want to make sure that that's done right.
And I think even in the states where, and I think even why marijuana became legal in a lot of the states is because the government wanted to capitalize off of and get some of the money. They didn't like, Pookie and Tyrone and them making all the money. So they try to figure, okay, how can we come into this and get the money? Now they had a bunch of places out here like where you could go with your marijuana card and stuff like that. And they were charging like $250, $300 or whatever for those classes. But now that you can just, you know what I'm saying, anybody can just get it, Now those businesses had to, you know, turn to doing other things in the marijuana field. But you know, I just think that you have to figure out what works good for you. And even all edibles are not treated the same. And some people don't know that. I went to the shop in the mall and somebody was in there asking a question, and I couldn't believe how the lady who worked there didn't know the difference between different, you know, different things like HACOMP. Like she didn't know any of that. Like I've researched all of that. I've tried it all so that I know when somebody's coming to me and saying, look, this is what I'm struggling with. I'm having an issue with sleep. What you might want to use, which type of THC you might want to use for sleep is not what you want to use for pain. You get what I'm saying? Or if you like more of a maybe feeling high effect, so you want maybe like a HHC because that's more of a sativa. Just because you're going in smoke shops, don't think you can depend on those people to educate you or know. Some of them are just working there and they don't know the difference between anything. So no matter what you're doing, make sure you always do your own research, and you cannot depend on anybody to protect your life. You know what I'm saying? Not even doctors at the end of the day.
You gotta be your own health advocate, that's for sure, because
Mhm.
no one is going to look out for you the way that you do. You know your body, and that's something not even just with marijuana. That's something that you have to do when you're going to these hospitals. You have to speak up for yourself. Don't downplay your symptoms or anything like that. SoFi is talking about something that I became familiar with because I love Demi. She Lovato. Is that her name? I can't. My brain went quiet.
Demi
Yeah,
Lovato,
that's
the
her.
actress?
Yeah.
Did I get the name right? Okay.
Mhm.
So she talks about.
That ain't me and you. I was on mute. What's up? You hear all that feedback?
Can y'all hear feedback? Why can't I hear it?
I
Self
was
advocate.
hearing the feedback a little while ago. You know, that thing drives me up a wall, girl.
I know it does. Let me read this, you guys, because I love this. She has an amazing voice. Okay, let me stay focused. Demi came out with well, she didn't come out with it, but okay, Kylie Sober. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Kylie Sober became a big thing when a lot of famous people who were addicts came out and said they were using marijuana. I feel that shifted some people's views on the use in terms of harm reduction. So Kylie Sober is not using so-called hard drugs, using soft drugs, and they included mushrooms in that. So I don't know. I know you guys want to talk about mushrooms another day, which we will. But so alcohol, marijuana. But the thing was this: the Kylie Sober lifestyle didn't work for her, and I don't think it works for a lot of people, because when you're using the mushroom or the marijuana drinking, she still had a horrible addiction to where she almost overdosed a few times, and she's highly talented. So I really don't think that we really understand the addiction and stuff like that. Some people
Well, what's your
use
stance?
marijuana.
Are you saying that is your stance that marijuana is just as dangerous as other harder drugs that we may not think
Absolutely
it is?
not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. No, not at all. I
Okay.
think that what I'm speaking of, because no, it's not. It's not made. You don't hear about people overdosing. Before, you never heard of it until fentanyl was introduced, and fentanyl is in a lot of things that we don't realize it's in. Some people can think they're smoking. I don't care if you're not getting it from a dispensary or you don't grow it yourself. You don't. Fentanyl has caused a lot of overdoses because we're not aware that it's in. I don't even think the people that's selling it on the street know that it has fentanyl in it sometimes, right?
Exactly. Even with the
Yeah.
Percocet and stuff that people are buying on the street, that's what's really knocking these people off, because what's happening is some people are getting addicted to it. Maybe it started off with a car accident, right? So, okay, now you're addicted to it. Now pain management then cut you off and said, okay, we don't want you having it anymore. So now you're on the corner trying to buy it. And the people that's out there selling it, you know, they're getting it from somebody else. They're not getting it because maybe they're with pain management and they're deciding to say like 5150 that they're going to go ahead and sell theirs. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, at first I didn't understand. I was like, why would people spend their money to then mix it in with something just to kill people? I didn't understand at first how cheap fentanyl was. I did not
I
know
don't think
that.
they know. Lady Nika said, "Hey, MU, are you about to talk down on Mary Jane?" I'm not gonna talk down about it, but I think that some people don't like me saying that people are addicted and they don't realize that they're addicted. That's my stance. But Shelly, they don't know that it's in it because you got to think they're getting
Some
it
of them
for
do
life.
though, MU, because they know
Some
that's the
do.
new thing to make it cheaper, stretch out longer, and to make people to keep coming back. That's like common knowledge what they're doing. But I don't think everybody does know. But I do believe that, some of them know because that's especially, of course, the producers of it. I mean, of the actual drug before they ship it to Mexico or try to bring it across the border, whatever they do, because they get to the point of disguising it so well now. They're using the same imprint numbers that are on, like, hey, say you found an empty pill somewhere and you're like, oh shit, I wonder what pill this is or whatever. And you can Google in
Right. You look it
MD83
up
and
and
it'll
have the
say,
numbers and stuff
yeah,
on
it'll
the
say it's
Exactly,
inside.
like
TMO.
Advil or something. Well, now they're starting to match these fake pills with this number and loading it with the fentanyl or whatever, and it looks just like a perk 30 or it'll be
Remember we
registered.
talked
They
about that
have
the
the
other
pill
day.
presses.
I was watching this show where they check all the people at the border and whatever they have. So with the fentanyl, it doesn't even on the drug testing stick, it won't even turn a color. So they have to call a specialist that specializes in fentanyl. And anyway, they had the fentanyl inside of some wood. And once they put it in this bucket, the bucket wasn't even that big, but they said that was enough fentanyl to kill over 2.3 million people. And that was something that some kids were bringing over the border
It's
because,
only like a sprinkle of a powder, like a little sprinkle can actually not could kill a whole person. Like it's like not even enough
Yeah,
to put on the edge of your fingertip.
it doesn't take much. Hang on, you guys. Let me make sure this is Pizarro. Pizarro, can you unmute your microphone? Let me bring you up. Oh, here she goes. Hey, pizza.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I just listened to the. I don't think that I agree with what you guys are saying. I don't think that fentanyl it's in everything, and it's made it so you really have to be careful with whatever you use because of how many overdoses it's caused. Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. What's good, Pizarro? Did you hear any of
What?
Okay, Pizarro. I don't know if you
What you
guys
say?
heard any of what. I'm sorry, I was dealing with my son for a second.
Can
I
she
don't.
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you talking, but I was like, you asked me a question. Yeah, I heard all of this. What you about to do? Cause I got a question to ask, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna offend you, but it's gonna be fine.
now why would you want to offend her?
Well, because the question I'm about to ask her is not, she's not gonna like the comments. So I'm just saying, I'm just giving her a heads up.
And can I ask y'all a question just before you say that and tear up the whole panel? Is it me or did y'all notice that most people that do hardcore drugs, I feel like they also do marijuana, and that may be where some of the misconception comes in because I got an aunt. She's
That's
she's
what I wanted to hit on
a
whenever
former
I could.
she's a
But
former
before we
crackhead.
hit on that, I need to
Yeah.
ask her this question.
Oh,
That's I could
okay.
get down too till I
Now
just
you gotta get down. MU, do you
I'm
want to
listening.
smoke weed?
Do I want to do what?
Do you want to smoke weed? Have you been thinking about smoking weed?
No. Why would you think that it offend me? Offend me? No, I don't. I don't want to smoke weed. I've never. I don't like things that. I don't like that down feeling, that relaxed feeling, which is why I don't like alcohol.
Well,
Yeah, apparently
alcohol
that
don't.
wasn't the life that you had. I was in your clouds. No, I don't want to
I
smoke
guess
weed.
alcohol do that for everybody.
You said what?
What you mean you don't like that damn feeling? Yeah, when y'all be on
Right.
that
I
meth,
was just
y'all be
about to. I
spaced
was
out
trying to
looking
figure
like a
that too.
zombie. Huh?
I was trying to figure that out too. When she said that down feeling, because I mean,
Cause
didn't
coke
meth do
make you
that?
jump in high
You,
strong, but meth don't. Like, so what? I'm,
but you had
Well,
okay. Listen.
meth had you spacing out,
Okay,
spazzing out.
yeah.
okay,
I mean, I ain't
wait.
never done it.
Because
I
I'm
just
not
seen people
comparing
on it.
meth to
We know.
marijuana because it's obviously two different drugs.
No, well, no. You were saying that you don't like marijuana because it makes you that down feeling. I
I
said,
don't
but
like
does it?
anything that because I'm so hyper, so I don't like that feeling. Meth is a stimulant, so I don't
So
like
it
these.
didn't have you down? Because, I mean, there was some times when you were down, okay? When you went to Don Kato house looking like that. There was some times when you was down. It didn't have you down. You was like alert, alert.
Somebody give me a belt. I
I'm
think the
asking her
difference
real
is
questions. She can't be uncomfortable with these questions. I gotta talk about weed, and y'all up
Wait
here
a
talking
minute.
about the
I
side
have
effects and the
questions.
bad.
Pizarro,
Okay, go
Pizarro,
ahead. Go ahead, my bad.
Pizarro. Let me ask you this. Do you guys feel, this is for you guys on the panel, and then I'll get to your question later, Pizarro, because this isn't
All right.
about meth. We already know what meth does, and we can have a different conversation about that because you guys think that I'm comparing the two drugs, and I'm not. Do you feel that a person can be addicted to marijuana?
Hell no.
I don't think so much addicted as maybe dependent, but I think you can be dependent on anything. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and I think you can be dependent on it if, like TMO said, she has some health things going on and it's either this or this. So she chooses
Mhm.
to go with this because she knows that this is a more healthier and it's more benefits in it than going this other route or whatever. So but even with pain medication, some people get it mixed up and they think that everybody's addicted to pain medication. Some people aren't addicted, they're dependent, and it's a difference, right? Now my aunt, not trying to throw nobody under the bus, but my aunt, former crackhead, she used to tell me that the reason why she didn't like to do marijuana is because it would keep her high too long. And with crack, you smoke crack and then you need some more and some more because your high would only be for smaller periods of time. And so it was just weird to me. I was like, well, why would you want to have to keep on doing something over and over again versus where you could smoke something and be good for some hours, or whatever. So I think people who do different type of drugs, they look for different type of feelings out of it. But yeah, I don't think
Yeah, everybody's chase is a little different. You like get a high off of just the chase of it, of getting high. It's deep.
Okay, so this
like
we are afraid to talk about
and I'm
things
talking about addicts, like addicts. You get what I mean? I'm not talking about just recreational or people being dependent. I'm talking about your life being unmanageable.
Okay, because I do, this is not about me and Don Cato. I do want to have a serious conversation about this because let me tell you something. A lot of people, when it comes to being addicted to something, I think that we're addicted to social media. I think we're addicted to a lot of things. I don't feel like that's a bad word.
Absolutely.
So I'm just asking, absolutely right. So I'm asking because we go about our day. Do we often think about what we need to get through our day? Do you need marijuana every day to smoke? I mean, to get through your day? Just a question.
I also think it's more of a mental than physical. Like I don't know anybody.
I did not drop you, Pizarro. I don't know what happened.
Myself, that's a lie. She dropped me to the back,
Wait
y'all. In
there. Let's clock 30. You dropped Pizarro on me in the car?
Of course, no. Let me tell you something. Some people was like, I did not drop Pizarro. I don't know how Pizarro ended up in the back. I did not drop Pizarro. So I want to ask you guys this: why would I drop Pizarro?
Oh, look at Pizarro. And Pizarro was typing in the back end trying to get your attention. You was ignoring my homegirl in the back chat too?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So you guys, okay.
I want to say this real quick.
Off with this marijuana talk. So I actually have been treading lightly because I understand that some people are really sensitive about it, but I'm sensitive about it as well. As a matter of fact, this conversation is really important to me because I have a lot of you in my chat that smokes marijuana, and I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm just wondering if you feel like you're addicted, number one, and number two, can you get through you answered number one, can you get through the day without smoking? Because a lot of time, well, let me stop there. Yes. Can you get through the day? Oh, Shelly says yes.
There's many days I don't even touch it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go without smoking.
I can, yeah. My husband probably no. But
okay. So
but I do think it's more of a mental thing. Like I don't know anybody that like has like a true withdrawal from marijuana.
Also, I think some people
only withdrawal I have is the munchies.
Is the what? Sorry,
it's the munchies. I just have the munchies.
That might just be a little side effect.
that would be considered a side effect.
But you get what I mean? Like, when you're coming off some of these drugs, you really do need, you could die. You know, like, you need to be in rehab. Like, I would never tell a heroin addict to cold turkey heroin without help. You know, like, this is not, like, they're the real, and I'm not trying to say it's not a hard, you know, it's not a hardcore drug to me, marijuana. Be point blank.
Do you feel
It's
that
not a drug at all. But go ahead.
it is
Like,
a drug because a
but
drug
like, when you coming off of alcohol, an alcoholic can have seizures from, you know, not from cold turkeying alcohol. That's why they'll go to like the medicine cabinet and literally drink mouthwash and alcohol when they're trying, you know, saying to their families sober. Like, I had a chick on the top bunk have a seizure in jail coming off of alcohol. It was one of the, and fell on concrete. It was one of the scariest things that happened. You know why I was in there. Thought
And
she
I
was
know
gonna
that
die.
drinking alcohol is a real thing. Because my friend's grandfather, when they was hiding, they had all the alcohol from him. He went right in that medicine cabinet and drank that rubbing alcohol. Sure did.
I believe it. I've heard so many stories in NA about that. It's crazy. And it's sad though. It really is sad to think, you know, you're so addicted to something, that's what you go to because you need it like that. Your body's gonna like have convulsions. I mean, you've came off of meth before. You can't tell me that was not a pretty situation because coming off of cocaine was ugly for me.
Okay, and that's the thing. I do get it, and I'm not by any means comparing marijuana to another drug because we're not going to sit up here and be like, oh, it's toxic. You're going to go through these. But see, I can't say that you don't go through withdrawals. There's some people that have very negative effects to marijuana. And
those are people that the ones that I know have negative effects is the ones that tried it for the first time and they don't like to be high. Or that the weed give them, maybe the weed is smoking too much. Now maybe if they smoke some pooch, then they'll be okay with it because then it's not smoking. And pooch is what it's less. It's don't be high, child. It don't be high.
Just what Pizarro said is how some people feel about edibles. There are some people who smoke weed and they will not mess with edibles because they're like the edibles because it's a different feeling.
Smoke my weed right now, bitch.
Look at. Let me read this from the House of Consciousness. I agree here. The marijuana today is a drug and is slightly addictive. Stop playing. All addicts will be in denial. That's right, son.
That's bullshit. We're not addicts.
Well, no, because like maybe we still talk about how weed used to be. Because weed used to be way different, y'all. Like my uncle, I hate to put my uncle out here like this, but
especially with MUS, I don't know what she talking about. She got the good shit over there.
It's just somebody.
I know he'd be like, "What is this stuff?"
Have different opinions, you guys.
But it is like
we don't
you
like to be called
I also think having
I like what happened to Reggie? I ain't seen Reggie. Pizarro, have you seen Reggie lately?
Can I say something real quick? I think having 2-3 women at one time can be addictive and a whole bunch of other things, but you don't see me.
My dad would say sex is his addiction.
Wait, you guys, we need to go back. We need to go back because I see differences. So, okay, let me do this. Put a 1 in the chat. You guys, I don't know how to do polls. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys feel that marijuana is a drug. And a 2 if you don't. Y'all help me remember the 1. A 1 if you do.
You.
Huh?
You on your computer?
Yeah.
Go to your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Click
while I'm live? I can do it while I'm live?
Yes. Yeah, all you got to do is go and pull up another tab. Go to your YouTube channel.
Go down there by the super chat thing. That's right, Pizarro. Teach her how to do it.
Okay, so I need to. Oh my God, Pizarro, that is something Pizarro would do because I've been doing this 1 and a 2. Okay, okay. So far, most of you are saying it's not a drug. Can one of my mods pull up the definition for a drug? Okay, let me do a poll. Okay, Pizarro. So you said go.
You go into your YouTube channel. Now click in this live. Make sure you press mute or.
Okay, I'm gonna go on mute.
No, not go on mute on this live. Go on mute when you hit that channel. so we don't
Oh, so
hear
I'm
your
gonna go
live.
into YouTube and then just open up another window for YouTube, right? Okay, I see the ones and the twos.
What I'm saying is for the poll, you go into your YouTube channel, pull up
Okay,
another tab because you're on StreamYard. Go in your YouTube channel, click on
okay,
the live that you at. You will see a plus sign.
okay. Let me do it right now.
Go to the bottom. You have to scroll down to the bottom where you see the chat.
Okay, doing it right now. I'm gonna learn something new. I needed to learn how to do this anyway. All right, let me go on mute, and then I could do a poll. Okay, let's see. Misunderstood. Duh. All right, let me go in. Understood. Oh wait. Duh. How do I
Okay,
mute?
mute that live. Mute that live. The one that's playing now, mute that one.
Okay. Oh, I do see a question mark. Okay. I mean, I see a
Do
plus.
you see the plus? Click that. Then you will see poll. Do you
Is
see the
it
poll?
start Q&A or start poll? Start a poll, right?
Start poll. Click
Okay.
start poll. There you
I'm
go.
sorry.
Now type it.
What did I say? Do you think marijuana is a drug? Do you think marijuana?
And then you gotta write in the other part where you put yes, and then the other tab no, and then click the thing, and then it will start your poll for you in the chat.
Thank you. And then how do I turn it off?
That's how the old ladies who be cussing me out. Why they couldn't help you with this bullshit? Just
Knock it
saying.
off.
I'm just saying.
Zorro.
I'm just saying.
They're gonna think you don't like them. Okay, let me see. Start
I
poll. Yes, you do. Okay, let me see.
don't.
Did you do it already?
Do you see it?
I don't know. So you need to put
Let me go
dangerous
see.
drug because man, GMO's a drug they put in the fruit and vegetables. So like, I don't know. I don't know what
Wait
to
a
say
minute. Do
about
you
a
guys see
drug.
the poll or no? Can y'all see it?
Yes, I voted no.
I can't see
Okay,
the
so
poll. Okay, go ahead, you guys.
you ain't gonna you can see the poll. All you gotta do is click out of that your chat and then go back into your chat and you will see the poll.
Oh, I got you.
That's
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay. No. Okay. So what else was I gonna ask
I
you guys?
deserve the cash out for that, but okay.
Actually, Pizarro. Well,
I'm just joking, girl.
nothing. I'll tell you later. But I was gonna say this. Okay, y'all just threw me off. So
Back to the
because
beat.
I want to make this clear. I understand. So the first thing is it a drug? Yes, it's a drug because anything that alters your mind is a drug, and an aspirin or a Tylenol is a drug. So you can't say that marijuana is not a drug just because you smoke it and you want to change the definition of what a drug is. It's a drug.
No, I don't have to call it a drug, but okay.
You may not call it a drug, but just because you don't call it a drug doesn't mean that it's not a drug.
Okay. We're gonna agree to disagree.
Okay. And another thing is, for some people, do you feel that it takes away your motivation to do stuff? Like if after you smoke, like you don't want to, and it sucks that I'm the only non-smoker up here, but do you feel that it takes away your motivation to do stuff sometimes? Like you would get more done if you didn't smoke?
No.
No.
We can make you very active. I think a lot of people think when they smoke weed, and I think that's due to Hollywood movies where they show a lot of them smoking weed and it makes them lazy.
Yep.
Usually those people that are lazy are not lazy. They're more in a calmer setting. That's all that is.
Okay, so Lady Nika says, no, I get more done when I smoke. Okay. Control your weed and that kind of stuff. Has anybody had any? So, okay, Trinigo says, yes, MU sometimes. Okay, see, I get that. And I do feel that it makes you relax. You want to eat and you don't want to do as much. And I feel that a lot of people, like, they jump online, and you guys don't think that I'm trying to judge or anything like that. But sometimes we're trying to have a good, like a conversation, and then you're talking to somebody. Now, I don't think marijuana affects everybody the same, because some people you can't talk to because they smoke so much, they're not making sense. So it's hard to understand.
Blame it on the weed, though.
Yeah, because like me, I'm just sober, right? I'm sober and I'm talking to people, and the other person smoked all day, and then all they're doing is laughing during the conversation. You can't talk to them about stuff.
Now listen, you can't get
Girl
mad
got
at
too
everything
much.
funny. You can't get mad at everything funny to a bitch. They feeling good at that movie. They feeling good at that on the in you. Hell no.
Am you jealous?
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous.
I'm
But
just joking.
have
I'm
you
trying to get you
noticed
to lighten up, Nicole. What done got you all bent up?
nothing has gotten me bent up, and I appreciate you guys for participating in this conversation. And I knew you said because most of you guys smoke, and I feel that all I'm asking is
I'm gonna be good.
all I'm saying is that I just feel that it's not what it used to be. Tesla, I'm sorry. I just feel like it's not what it used to be, and and what we're putting into our bodies, we do need to know, and it's just better if you can grow it and if you can get it from dispensary. Because if you cannot, you really don't know what you're using. You could be using anything. That's just my stance on it. And I also feel that when you're smoking anything, it does affect our lungs and our respiratory system. So those are just things. But does it have pros? Absolutely. So I'm definitely not going to say, hey, you know what? It helps you. You know, if it helps you get through the day and it's safe, it's not causing you problems, great. I don't think it's the case for everybody. That's what I'm saying about it.
Well, of course, it's not the case for everybody because everybody's mind and brain and body is different. One person's hitting the weed ain't gonna like it. It may have had a bad experience with it because they may have smoked too much. They may have had smoked the fat blunt, stuff like that. Everybody is not the same when it comes down to weed. It is what it is.
It is. Um. It is. Oh wait, let me see. How do I close out this poll? It is what it is, and you know what? Okay, wait. Can I see the?
You should see on the side right there on your right, and it should say "in poll."
Okay, so to check the poll results, how do I? Can y'all see the poll results? Oh no. Oh, I see it. Okay. Oh wow, 55% of you said that marijuana is not a drug. 5% said unsure, and 39% said yes. Okay. I think I'll just leave that up because you guys may not be sure about what you're saying.
No, you being biased is what you doing.
I'm not being biased, but I feel
you already got your result in the poll. You in the poll. She hoping that it would be more yeses, y'all.
I'm just gonna leave the poll up for a little bit. You guys think about it. Let me give you the definition of a drug, and I'm gonna let you guys think about this because
you see.
That's what I was trying to say. It's too hard to say a drug because antibiotics are drugs. Right? GMO is a type of drug they put in your food to modify it.
Let me help y'all out. Is marijuana a drug? Cannabis, also known as marijuana or weed, among other names, is a psychoactive drug from the cannabis plant. Native to Central or South Asia, the cannabis plant has been used as a drug for recreational and purposes, and in various traditional medicines for centuries. Yeah. So maybe some of those yeses will go up, but marijuana is a drug.
I just don't think it's a dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a dangerous drug. Like I wouldn't say that aspirin or Tylenol
People
was a
need
dangerous
to
drug.
acknowledge that it's a drug, and a lot of us still don't believe that. We don't give a damn what Google says. We don't see marijuana as a drug because if you go into the marijuana history, yes, it was used more so for medicine than it was of us smoking it. I mean, now we're smoking it, but back then in ancient times, your ancestor times, they were using it for medicine because, I mean, that's what it's really used for, especially with a lot of patients now that dealing with a lot of chronic pain, cancer, brain tumors, and all that. They're all using the marijuana to help heal their bodies or to be able to cope with the pain that they be going through.
Yeah. And like in the ancient times, they would like only smoke it for ceremonial purposes. So yeah, they ate it back then. And you got to remember hemp. They used, that to make clothing, other things. That was like a stronger cotton for them as well. So
Oh, thank you
there
for
are like a lot of good, just hemp alone that you can make from marijuana leaves.
Let me read this to you and let me see what you guys think, all right? Because so far, the oh, okay, wait, let me make sure this is you. Oh, wait, I can't bring you up with Pizarro because she does not share panels with guys.
That is correct.
Who's the person?
Sonetter. Oh, okay, Sonetter. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, she doesn't do panels with guys. I'm sorry about that. Let me read this. An offender, but you're always welcome. I just, in offender population, studies reported an association of cannabis use with y'all not gonna like this article. I'm just reading anyway. In offender population, studies reported an association of cannabis use with violent crimes in both males and females. Specifically, cannabis use was associated with violent street crimes and drug trafficking. Okay, maybe that's too much. I don't know if I mean, things happen.
Well, first of all, the only time that happens when it comes down to weed is always let it be known that the weed was spike. No one actually who smokes regular weed, like a lot of us, will do edibles. I don't really do edibles. I don't do edibles at all. I actually just smoke the plant, the weed in itself. But anyways, none of us or any of those people we know that do edibles or smoke weed commits any crimes like that. To be honest, smoking weed for a lot of us helps us not to end up in jail. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you got kids riding this bitch. You gotta have the weed to be left-handed just because you got motherfucking kids. So that's another thing. All right, and then you're gonna have the world where they gonna really attempt you and really try the fuck out of you, baby, to the point where you gotta go smoke so you don't end up in motherfucking prison on the beach. So that article is bullshit, but they put out a lot of false information when it comes down to the weed because they've been having Americans think for centuries on the end that marijuana is bad, even though the shit was not bad. They just didn't want to smoke it.
Right. They said that so that they could feel comfortable having people.
Oh, go ahead, Shelly. What you say?
I was just saying they had people thinking it was such a bad thing so that they could feel comfortable when people would go to court and they have them in jail for 5 years, 2 years, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like there's somebody, I don't want to put her name out here. I did a interview with her, and maybe I'll ask her to come over here with you one day. But she did like 2 years in prison over some weed stuff, and now now it's like weed is legalized pretty much everywhere. So of course they had to make people think that it's a bad thing. And I'm glad that Pizarro touched on the drugs being spiked and all that other type of stuff, because a lot of people that people think are smoking marijuana, no, they're doing dippers. They're out here smoking with it dipped with embalming fluid. Here they call it wet or dippers. Some people do cigarettes, dip it down in there. But then there are other people.
MU, look at MU. You cannot try to tell them people to do yes on the poll. You cheating.
I'm not cheating. I'm telling them to rethink.
She's trying to persuade the audience. No, you trying to persuade the audience. Let me come in the chat, y'all.
With that article, MU, I would also like to know what other types of drugs were found with the marijuana, because usually if somebody's, you know what I mean, getting caught with one, there's usually other things involved as well. A gun, other drugs, things like that. So they could just be only saying the marijuana.
No, no, these people use marijuana and they have committed crimes, but we don't usually talk about that. About people that
smoke. They have committed crimes, but they don't just smoking regular weed. That's what you're not telling.
Nothing to do with marijuana. I think it's just the fact that they were criminals. And they
so that's what I would say. They got a criminal mindset. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys some marijuana.
Voted on us to smoke marijuana out in the open, baby. You don't know how
you are so lucky. Indiana's
Yes,
never gonna
Brianna.
change.
yes, thank you. Bestie, don't be in here lying and stuff.
She's not lying
You
because
don't even smoke weed, so mind your business. Stay in your sober
Brianna
mind
doesn't
level
smoke
life.
weed. Why didn't Brianna come? I was looking for
Yeah,
someone.
where's Brianna
Yeah,
then?
she don't smoke no weed because she need a hush.
Oh no, I was looking for someone that didn't smoke, so it's not me. Like someone that hasn't done any drugs at all. But
That's what I was thinking, MU. Sorry, Pizarro.
okay,
Yeah.
marijuana. No. I was talking with Pizarro. I wanted both, one that smokes, one that doesn't smoke at all. Marijuana risk, because I don't want to be biased, you guys. It's not just my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm trying to have a well-rounded conversation.
You being
And I'm
biased though, because you're
sorry,
trying to make that poll say yes.
sorry, John, you can't come up. I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all know how Pizarro runs her. I asked her to come over, so that's different. So no, I'm not gonna ask her to leave so a guy can come up. Don't worry. Sorry, John. Just come back later. Marijuana risk. Let me read this. Brain health. I'm gonna have to go strong for the non-smokers since I only have.
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, MU, but you said brain health. Do you know how many people who have, like myself, who have MS, who they have went and had scans, but then because these people have started smoking marijuana, they've had less lesions, they've had less white spots, white matter on the brain. So even though it's showing some stuff there about some brain whatever, it is also very good for a lot of people in situations they're going through with their brain health.
Thank you. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna have to go harder for the non-smokers. Thank you. Okay, brain health, and I agree with you. You're right. Marijuana can cause permanent IQ loss of as much as 8 points when people start using at a young age. I told you guys that, right? The IQ points do not come back even after quitting marijuana. Mental health. Studies link marijuana use to depression, anxiety, suicide planning, and psychotic episodes. It is not known, however, if marijuana use is the cause of these conditions, but that didn't help. Athletic performance. Marijuana affects timing, movement, and coordination, which can affect marijuana performance. Okay, we kind of know some of this stuff, but in daily life, using marijuana can affect performance and how well people do in life. Research shows that people who use marijuana are more likely to have relationship problems, worse educational outcomes, lower career achievement, and reduced life satisfaction. So I'm going to give you guys the marijuana.
Bullshit.
I'm going to give you guys the marijuana hotline number. Wait a minute. Which
The devil is a liar.
listen.
The whole thing I would say is if you're doing something to the point where your life is unmanageable, doesn't matter what it is, you probably should reevaluate your life and what's going on. So I don't know many people that marijuana has done that to, like to where they're stealing from their family, or they living out of their car or in a shelter, things like that. I'm not saying it cannot happen, but I'm saying anything, if your life gets to that point, you do need to reevaluate yourself. And that's just a PSA, for me, because I don't know anybody that marijuana's ever done that to, but I don't want to say, there's not that one person out there that it did it to, I guess.
I'm going to tell you guys.
As far as the marijuana and drinking, I would disagree with that because y'all see me with Benz off of one drink, okay? And I was tore down. Drink number 2, I was done. So no, I will socially drink every once in a while, but as far as drinking, no, ma'am.
Let me close my damn poll. I think that I do think that
Yeah,
I
do
know
make some amazing wine. This is man.
I think that so far from what I'm listening to you guys and the majority of you in the chat, you're saying, hey, you know what? It is a drug, but the pros outweigh the cons, and you really don't see any harm in it. I'm basically hearing that, and that's all right because people don't want to
say that. What did the poll say? Because you said the majority of y'all in the chat said, I could sworn the poll said that I'm not looking, but I remember you said that they were saying 111 is not a drug, right?
Well, yeah,
Huh?
55% of you said no, it's not a drug. And 42,
Right.
I'm just gonna close this poll. Let me close this shit.
Right. So the majority of the chat said that it's not a drug. Okay.
Yeah, the majority of the chat said it's not a drug.
She was trying to cheat and make them say yes, Shelly.
No,
That's what she was doing.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys for this reason. Let me tell you something. I think that sometimes people are so conditioned to think in a certain way, it doesn't really matter what anybody else says. They're gonna think what they want to think. I do think that the majority can be wrong, and that's okay. If you guys are comfortable being wrong together, then that's fine.
Well, I do like how they are doing more studies. Like the younger you do it, you know what I mean? How your brain is, it can be affected. Because, I mean, that's something, no 9-year, I don't know. I knew people that probably will tell you they started smoking at 9, but I can't say that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know
At
what
all.
I'm gonna do. Lady Nika said, condition, you tried it there in US. Lady Nika, I was trying to persuade people to vote the right answer. But I think that, so when I was asking Pizarro to come and have this conversation with me, I was thinking of, we all know she does all, oh damn, I need to ask you guys something else. Okay. And this is not in relation to Pizarro. Let me ask you guys this. Do you feel that marijuana smoke, like how cigarette smoke can affect our kids, do you feel that marijuana smoke can affect our kids if they inhale it?
I mean, I think anything, like me personally, I wouldn't be smoking around my kids, but that's just me. I have family members that do, cousins that smoke. They smoke in front of their kids, or whatever. I mean, even me as an adult, I don't even drink around my kids, and they're grown. I just don't do it. Like,
Black Power, what does meth have to do with this?
We're like the same way.
they're
There's no
explaining that
smoking
they
in the
just
house
heard.
or in the cars. Like, no, you know what I mean? Because your house will start to smell like that. Your car can. No, especially not in front of the children. No.
So we do agree at least that, you shouldn't be smoking around the kids. I have to do a little bit more research on this subject, you guys. Y'all have me thinking about a lot of stuff. And I think that, I think it's a start. I mean, I don't feel, I still disagree with you guys that it's not a drug because it is a drug. But I don't think that I don't know. I think that if you buy it from a reputable place, it's not going to really affect. I can't say. And I don't think you guys could say either. I don't think we know enough about it. Children should not be around it. That's right, it's Ivy. Lady Nika says, yes, that's why I never did it around my eggs when they were children. Right. Because it's still putting some smoke into their bodies. So, Pizarro, can we at least agree on that? Maybe we can agree on something before I in this chat.
Now, why the hell would you think I wouldn't agree with that?
I'm just asking because I was asking everybody on the panel. I was about to ask Demon Soul next.
Like, TMO, do you agree with it?
I think everyone agrees with this question.
But I think I know people that'll just fire up a blunt in front of anybody. Shoot, our own grandma, they would. You know what I'm saying? So, children there or not, they would do it.
I know somebody that smoked around their
Yeah,
kids.
my cousin's
They're not
kids will
online.
tell you how to do it and everything.
Right?
And guess what? Their
Like,
kids do it. You know what I'm saying?
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Their kids do it.
it would be interesting to see some of these studies because I know people that'll tell you they started very young with marijuana. Like, I was still playing with Barbie dolls and I could roll a joint. I'm like, what? So
I'm gonna do some more research on it. Obviously, I mean, I did some research on it, but some of the stuff was very technical, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna spend some more time on it. They're asking, are mushrooms herbs?
well, like, they're technically not. They're considered a fungus.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm not going down that mushroom thing. I've only done mushrooms a few times. I don't know much about microdosing either. But I take cordyceps, lion's mane, turkey tail, and a few other mushrooms to help me with depression, anxiety, and my ADHD. Because ADHD medicine is a stimulant to me, which I was addicted to cocaine heavily. So any ADHD medicine will put me back in that, woohoo, let's go chase some ADHD medicine, Adderall, Ritalin, things like that. So there are natural ways to go. And I praise my over the counter, get at your little health food store, mushroom blends for that. But I don't know about the psychedelic ones like that too well.
And you do have a lot of people. You have a lot of people who are addicted to ADHD medication, Ritalin, Adderall, and all of that. Also,
Mm-hmm.
you have people who also use it just to keep their weight down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many different levels to this whole thing. And I give you credit, Alexis, for even coming up here and telling your truth, because you know how people
Thank
are
you.
on
I
this app. The minute
appreciate
they
it.
get
Yeah.
mad with you, the minute you get in the chat, say something they don't like, they're gonna be calling you all types of goddamn cokeheads. But listen, I give people credit. I mean, even MU, you don't have to come up here and tell your truth. You know what I'm saying? You could be in denial, you could lie, you could say you didn't do it. And even for those who say, look, hey, I'm team 420 and ain't nobody gonna shame me about it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I give everybody up here credit because we are, on a platform where people look and analyze and take everything and turn it into something else.
And I appreciate that. Even for the so I wasn't even thinking about the edibles. So when she came up here talking about, hey, you know what? I don't really smoke, but I use edibles. I'm thinking, okay, that's a great point of the conversation, because do we know what's in edibles? And okay, I'm not trying to compare it to another drug, but you know how you use something and you're used to the way that you use it. So I'm wondering, is there some people that only do edibles? Is there people that smoke and they refuse to do edibles? Or I don't know. So yeah,
No, that
the
is
unique
true.
out here, they kind of
There are a lot of
legalized. They were
people who do
trying
edibles. They don't
and
smoke.
they only do that. Yeah, they were trying to legalize it, saying that it's natural and that it has some medicinal purposes. And that's mushrooms, I believe, is a psychedelic drug. There was someone that came on this platform that knew a lot about mushrooms, and I just thought, like, wow, are they trying to get us distracted and addicted to stuff so we're not focusing on bigger issues, that's affecting our lives, that they just want us walking around numb?
You should have
Or
asked your
are
guest from the other day.
who was that?
Your guest you
Noble?
had the other day, she's into mushrooms. 5150.
50.
Yeah, that's why it's like hard for me to speak on them, because I don't know much about like the microdosing and things.
There was
The whole
one
psychedelic part of it.
there was a
Because
lady.
like there's like regular old mushrooms, like what I'm talking about, you could buy at the grocery store.
No,
So
they were trying to legalize it. It's on my community wall. I'll have to repost that article because it's
like
way down.
magic mushrooms.
I don't know anything about mushrooms. I'm not smoke. I don't like anything that's a psychedelic. No, I feel, but here's the thing though. A lot of people have asked me if I would use marijuana, right? They said it would make me mellow out. I already think I'm mellow. I don't think I need shit like that. But for me, I feel, I don't know, because I can't say, hey, okay, I use a hard substance and marijuana for me would be great. But I know some people that use heroin and then they switch to marijuana and are good on it. I don't know. I think that meth is just a different drug. And if you have an addictive personality, you have to watch anything that you use. So it's just different for everybody. Echo. Oh, there's Echo. Okay. So it's just different for everybody. Echo, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Oh no, I don't want to back yourself. Okay. I tried to turn your camera off, but so I think it's just different for everybody, you guys. And so I'm glad that we could at least have this conversation. Echo, I'll bring you up right now. I'm glad that we could have this conversation. I'm going to tell you guys my stance is that it's a drug and that I just prefer to do things all natural. But then there's some people that have some medical conditions that need it, because we can't say it doesn't help with cancer, it doesn't help with seizure, blah, blah, blah. It does. But then there's some people that's just using it because they want to be high all the time. And they're difficult to talk to and just psychotic. So we can't say it doesn't also cause a psychosis. So there's just different things. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Shut up, Oreo. I can answer a lot of questions about this.
About what?
Hang on, let me get my dog out of here. About mushrooms and marijuana. I can answer whatever you want to know.
And thank you, Shelley, too, for what you were saying earlier. I appreciate
I
it.
have experience and schooling on both subjects.
You said you went to schooling. Are you like a nurse or something? I don't want you to dox yourself.
No, I actually went to a school up in Frisco and learned about marijuana, medical marijuana, before I started a business that I came up with. But
would you
I
say that it's
understand
a drug?
all the.
Echo? Would you say that marijuana is a drug?
It depends on your intentions when you're doing it and what you're using it for. I mean, if you're using it to cope or to escape, yeah, it can be a drug.
I can't. You guys are wrong. Okay, I'm trying to.
And if you're doing it for other reasons, like it, it can give you inspiration, it can do things. It depends on your intentions. I mean, I don't use anything to escape or to cope with something. If I'm angry, I don't smoke, I don't go drink. I don't want to enhance any of that emotions. I deal with that first. And then, later, if I want to get high, I get high type of thing. I don't use it for like a crutch, if you will.
You mean you went to school for it, Echo? I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but you went to school and you're still telling me that it's not a drug? I just find it hard to...
I didn't say it wasn't a drug. I said there is a chance you could use it as a drug. It depends.
But as far as regardless of how you use it...
It's not addicting, no. It's not addicting, no.
No, I'm not saying that it's addicting, but I'm just saying that if I'm just asking a yes or no question, like, is it a drug? That
there is no yes or no. It depends on your intention.
Would be yes.
If somebody uses it for a different type of medicine.
If you're telling me that you go, okay, that's like I'm giving you an aspirin. Are you telling me that it depends on how I use this aspirin, if whether it's a drug or not? That makes no sense.
No, aspirin is a chemical. It's completely different than marijuana.
But
it is not marijuana.
Well, and so is, amoxicillin, but amoxicillin is a drug.
And you don't know what it's like to have a natural high versus a chemical high. That's what
I'm saying. If you're telling me that you went to school for this kind of stuff, but then you come up on the panel,
oh my God,
on the panel, and then you
couldn't even get the whole thing out when you started just attacking me about it. Have I
was trying to help you out, Echo.
Have I finished?
That you're telling me that you went to school, and then you're telling me that it's only a drug depending on how you use it. That makes no sense.
I said your intentions.
No, but whether your intentions or not, like if I take a Tylenol,
it's not addicting.
I'm not saying that it's addicting.
It's not a chemical. It's not going to fuck up your body.
And it's definitely classified as a drug.
Yeah.
Okay, MU, why do you let me ask you this.
MU,
why do you feel so strongly against
it's a trigger.
Marijuana? Well, you can if you want to, but I feel like
it's the
you almost want to shame those who
don't, Shelly. I don't. I promise you, I don't. All I want to do.
Can I finish?
Well, she wanna put it on the drug of another drug, but act like that's not what it is.
You guys, I'm not gonna shame you guys. All I'm saying is that
before you give me my conclusion, can I finish? Please.
Okay, let me just say this, and I won't interrupt you. All I'm saying to you guys, because I don't want you to feel that I'm trying to shame
standing on it. Everybody has that standing on it. I understand it. You don't have to explain it.
Let me finish my thought. I'm not going to interrupt you. Let me finish my thought, Echo.
All right.
I'm not trying to shame anybody that uses a drug, but that uses marijuana. But what I'm trying to say is that the way that it's classified, it is classified as a drug. I just read it to you guys, and it's not my definition. It's used to treat illnesses, is it not? So regardless of which, and I'm not saying that drug is a bad thing. Tylenol is a drug. Do we criminalize people that use Tylenol? No. But all I'm saying is that's how it's classified. So I understand that we all have our opinions, but if you tell me that, hey, I've studied this, but then you come up here and say, hey, it depends on how you use it and what your intentions are, whether it's a drug or not, that's not how they do classifications. That's all I'm saying. It's just that I have a different stance.
Okay.
If you tell me you went to school, wait, don't interrupt me. If you tell me that you went to school for it, that's all I'm saying.
Let me give an example of exactly how, from my perspective, that no longer makes sense. Mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, are classified as a class 1 felony, which states has highly addictive with no medical benefit. Now, psychedelic mushrooms now have proven to be completely flipped and opposite of that, with nothing but great medical benefits and no addictive qualities. Our government has classified it as a specific thing that it is not. It awakens people. They didn't like that back in the 60s and 70s. They put it as a dangerous thing. So there's this big taboo on the shit that awakens people. Marijuana does the same thing. It's a big
Marijuana is classified as a drug, ma'am. And I
so
think
is psychedelic mushrooms. And aspirin isn't. And aspirin will kill you and they won't.
But I'm not denying that it has medicinal purposes. And I'm not saying that it's...
No, it has no addictive qualities, which is what makes the drug a drug.
I didn't say that
it made... Then you know what? It's a drug and don't do it. Don't do it. You have a taboo on it.
Don't use it. Let me
it's going to be a drug for you. Don't use it.
It's a drug for anybody. Look, I can't. It's a drug.
Exactly. You don't make sense to me.
Bitch, I don't know who to think.
Okay, well, hold on. MU, I think everyone's giving it too much. You just want a yes or no question. That's it. Like, she just wants a yes or no. That's it. We're giving her too much. Like,
no, it's not that, but you guys are acting like I'm trying to criminalize it. That's why I didn't want to be the only non-smoker.
Well, that's why I keep trying to go to, like, antibiotics. That's considered a drug, right? We can all say it's a drug. An antibiotic is a drug.
And I'm not. Right? Is an antibiotic? Is an antibiotic addictive? No.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying that you guys are using an addictive substance. I'm not saying that, and I'm damn sure not criminalizing you guys because I have plenty of people in my life that smoke and they don't have problems with it. So I don't want you guys to feel. I don't want you guys to feel that I'm criminalizing it, and I damn sure don't want to be attacked because if I, and it's like, I just feel like this. I'm not, Pizarro, I was not being rude. This is a surprisingly aggressive life for you, considering how you saying you want to talk about
you called her a bitch and dropped the girl all because, I mean.
No, if you, okay, listen.
Yeah, you were dead wrong for that one, I'm honest with you.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
They both were very triggered. You know what I mean? I guess I'm not good.
But that girl did not call MUI her name. If you called her a bitch and kicked her down,
no,
she
I
got
wasn't calling her a bitch. I'm sorry if it came across that way. I was saying like I wasn't calling her a bitch. So Echo, if you are out there, I'm sorry if it came across that way. I was not calling you a bitch. Okay. I was saying it's like I don't want people thinking that I'm attacking marijuana users. It wasn't supposed to be an aggressive conversation, but I felt like you were being aggressive towards me because all I'm saying is, no, I just strongly disagree with that. And I don't want to put out bad information. That's all I'm saying.
But to me, you putting out bad information because you want it to be based off the drug being so bad and the drug callings and crime and stuff like that. But I mean, that's what you're doing. If I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what you're doing. You being very biased about it. And I feel like you don't like the simple fact that people don't view weed as a drug as everything else. Okay, and the only reason why it's like that is because a lot of y'all are not naturally high. Y'all got high off a chemical.
Let me say this. No, I felt like let me say this. Lady Nika, I wasn't trying to be rude. I just don't listen. I can tell you guys that there's a lot of things that I think I can tell you right now when it comes to marijuana. Let me say this really clear. I do think it relaxes people. I think that it has a lot of medicinal purposes, and I think it should be legalized in all 50 states. Okay? With that being said, like I would say for anything else, all I'm saying is, number one, I don't want to be looked at like I'm criminalizing marijuana because I'm definitely not. And I'm not comparing it to a hard drug. If you don't agree with the classification of marijuana, if you don't agree with marijuana being a drug because of the classification, that's one thing, but it is classified that way. I'm not saying that you have to agree with it, but that's how it's classified. That's all I'm trying to say. And and I don't know, but tell her to ask her physician before she judge. You are right. It is a drug. Toby, it is. But like I said, just like, I mean, but just because something is legal, I mean, you guys may not agree with the classification, but I was just shocked at someone who says, hey, I studied this. Like, you're coming up here like an expert, but at the end of the day, I can tell you that all the studies that you look at, if you Google, is marijuana a drug, it's going to say yes. It's going to say yes.
Yeah, it's going to say yes because we keep trying to tell you why they make it as a drug. Because the bad things they put on marijuana, that's why. But it's really not a drug in you. That's what you're not understanding. It really was not a drug. Just like smoking cigarettes back then wasn't labeled as a drug.
You got to go back to like the 40s when they started like making laws on these things with prohibition. You know, like it's a lot to it. Just Reefer Madness alone, they were playing that in the schools. Like, and that is a hilarious movie if anybody can watch it now. That they were like, Reefer Madness was like a scary movie for people back then. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it, but I think it's hilarious. But it is definitely Hollywood going into what Pizarro said, showing that, you know, weed makes you lazy and you're gonna maybe jump out of a window, and there's a lot to things, you know.
Oh my god, everybody okay, so I got a lot of messages with people calling me. Okay, so some people are mad at me over that interaction, but so this is your fault, man. But let me tell you this.
No, hell no. This is your fault because you should never been rude to her. You should never ask for this conversation, and you couldn't handle the conversation. Now, out of all the drugs, let you tell it. It seems like marijuana is the most problem for you. Can you tell us why?
You're not gonna flip this on me. Look at.
I'm not flipping this, but I want to know. I'm having a real conversation with you. You said you want to be a real conversation. Let's be real. Come on, let's be real. What is the issue with marijuana?
I don't have an issue with it. As a matter of fact, if anybody chose a drug, because there's some people. Let me tell you, there's some people that use it, and they and it's been shown that they don't want, and there's been plenty of people in my comment section, they're like, you know what, I don't want anything else. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. But not everybody is like that. That's all I'm saying. There are some people where they're using it to like distract themselves or whatever, and they do end up using other stuff. But those people would use, I think, anyway, regardless if they were using marijuana or not. So that's all I'm saying. So maybe I'll end up a friendly note because I don't want you guys. Well, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I do want to revisit this. I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want you guys to be offended. And I think that we did a lot for an hour and a half.
I'm already offended. I'm going to let you know right now. There was some bias ass shit. You was very rude to Echo. It seems like you want
you're not going to say that because I felt attacked in my own person. I felt attacked.
She did not attack you, you lied. Literally, go back and look at this video because you asked that girl a question, and because she didn't give you a yes or a no, and you wanted her to say yes, not a yes and a no. If we're going to be honest, you wanted her to say yes, and you got mad at her and went off on her all because of her saying her profession. I don't understand why you asked her a question and then she answering it, but you cut her off.
Dude, I can't. I want to end on a good note because
Well, I hope I didn't offend anybody on the panel or in the chat. Sorry if I did. But thank you. I enjoyed being able to talk about this. So
I'm gonna say this. I didn't mean, and I like I told you guys, I was not calling her a bitch or anything like that. All right, but I don't like people telling me how I feel about a subject, and I get really passionate about stuff. Okay, I didn't mean to. I just feel like this. If you yeah, she was rude to Echo, and she definitely didn't attack you. But Emu, I definitely agree with everything you said. I'm good on this conversation. I tried, y'all. I really wanted to try to do like a drug panel. This shit didn't go well, but it's not your fault. It's because like I don't want you guys to think that just because I'm having this conversation, because I also want to have it with mushrooms. I want to talk about. I won't do meth right away, but I just wanted to. I don't know. She triggered me, but if you look back at the stream, I just don't like people telling me how I feel. And if you tell me that you are an expert and you went to school on it, like I went to school as well, and I'm just telling you how it was classified. It was not to offend any of you. That's how it's classified. Now, whether you agree with how the government is classifying something, if you get into a conspiracy and say, hey, well, when they called marijuana a gateway drug, it was during the Reagan era, when they were criminalizing marijuana and throwing all these people in jail, saying it was a gateway drug. I get it. I'm simply telling you guys how it was classified, and I didn't want it to be turned at me. I'm just telling you what's there. All right. So I apologize. I did not mean to offend you guys, but I knew it was going to be kind of a tough conversation with my stance on it. And that's okay. But that's like, if I talk about alcohol, am I telling you guys that you're wrong or evil for drinking alcohol? No, I'm not saying that at all. And Pizarro,
A lot of us agree with alcohol because alcohol causes a lot of accidents and deaths. I mean, the girl, I don't like alcoholics, girl, or one this.
Yeah.
My motherfucking
I've seen some of the worst
The
things.
spirits, right? Them spirits come through.
motherfuckers. Okay, so yeah, drinking, being an alcoholic, it ain't no good thing because they take a lot of lives.
wait a minute. I can't. Okay. So you would say so you guys are saying that alcohol is more harmful than marijuana?
Absolutely.
Well, before fentanyl, they would tell you it's worse than heroin.
All the drugs are worse than marijuana.
Look
All of
into
those
it.
drugs are.
Look into alcohol. They used to say it was more. They would compare it to heroin, basically. But now we have
Girl,
fentanyl, so I know.
we have these high ass car insurance, bitch. Girl,
Wow, you guys are huh. Okay, I'm gonna put that one on my community wall tomorrow. I think Toby says she's an expert because she smoked weed with Snoop Dogg or something. I don't know. Okay, so you guys are saying that alcohol is more damaging than marijuana.
I
But
personally do.
look at the results of an alcoholic or someone who drinks daily, and them trying to stop drinking alcohol cold turkey, and then look at somebody with weed who might stop smoking weed, whether they go to prison or for whatever reason, wherever they are, they can't smoke it. They might be like, damn, I wish I could smoke right now. But the difference is more people die trying to stop drinking alcohol just cold turkey like that than any other drug.
No, you're right about that. If you trying to kick alcohol and opiates without without assistance, you could die from it. It's hard on your heart, it's hard on your body, and you're not gonna die from kicking marijuana. So yeah, alcohol is more who's that word? What the hell is that word?
Now, I'm not saying people can't have withdrawals from it. You know what I'm saying? You can have withdrawals from anything, even down to opioids. Some people don't understand that. Even if you're taking opioids given to you by your doctor, if they're giving them to you, let's just say you're supposed to take it twice a day or 4 times a day, and you've been doing that for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then all of a sudden you stop taking it, you may not crave it, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. You're going to be like somebody at the Piggly Wiggly, and you're going to be shitty all over yourself.
Yeah, your body feels it. Yes. That's where that physical addiction comes in.
I want to, you guys see, and that's the thing. When I was doing this panel, I was not saying I have all the answers, right? Even though I did go to school and learn a bunch of stuff, I don't have all the answers. I need to take more classes, but the experts don't have all the answers either. And a lot of these things that I was reading, can I say it's a gateway drug? No. Can I say that it doesn't help you? No. I mean that It doesn't help you. It doesn't ease headaches and a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that at all. At all. Now, alcohol, I can say is hard on your body. I can say that you can lose your life if you drink too much. So I get what you guys saying about it being harder on your body.
I'm confused with the comment in the chat saying marijuana is a lesser form, I think it said, of heroin. But I don't agree with that whatsoever. That is what, no.
So here's the thing. All of you on the panel, you know, you all smoke, you all do your thing, you do your edibles, and you got people in the chat, Lady Nika, other people. I see y'all, and for all of you, you're able to function and your life is just fine.
No, but with withdrawing from heroin, you have a physical withdrawal. Like that's enough. Yeah. So like to compare heroin to marijuana,
motherfucking veins. Are you? See, I'm about to go because the bitch over here trying it now.
Who are you talking about? What are you talking about?
In that chat, girl. No, we ain't shit like that. No, we not finna do that now. Now y'all just saying whatever.
I thought we were ending on a good. I thought we were ending on a good note. Listen.
Okay, well, must just be like a troll then in the chat because that just sounds uneducated and stupid.
Toby needs to shut her ass up then, cause
Zara, I thought we were supposed to be having a friendly conversation and not cursing people out.
And I want to respond.
Girl, it's too late for not cussing nobody out. You cussed the panelists out. So
I would never compare somebody that smokes weed to somebody that does heroin, like ever.
Okay,
I would never even put them on the same.
That person has no subscribers or nothing. They're just trying to trigger you guys. All right, they're just a troll.
Yeah, because that's telling people wrong that might have addiction issues with heroin too. Like y'all got to remember what y'all put in the chat sometimes. It's not about you. It's not about me. It could be about somebody 10 years from now that's actually needing help.
Okay, so the people there's Lady Nika. I thought that we were okay. Lady Nika, I didn't curse her out. I had a conversation with her, and you first echo out. Okay, y'all say that.
Girl, fuck your nursing textbook, okay, and fuck them too.
Who are you?
Yeah, because the doctors are the biggest drug dealers out here. I'm not about to turn this into a conspiracy live.
We ain't gonna be comparing weed and heroin when they got me fucked up. No.
Thank you, Pizarro. Like we gotta put a foot down somewhere, y'all.
Hey, fine, you better compare the coke, crack, something else.
So you better compare that to alcohol, with like all the other studies do. There's a million studies that compare it to alcohol.
I think cursing people out just because you disagree with them.
Girl, ain't no disagree. Girl, get out of here with that. You already done cussed the bitch out, so don't tell me no.
Well, I'm not cussing anybody out. I'm being very calm.
No, bitch, I ain't doing shit no close to no hearing when you got me fucked up.
Pizarro, why does that even offend you? She's a troll.
Because bitch, you got me fucked up. This heroin, bitch, who the fuck want to be off that shit, yo? I go, bitch, no. Have you ever seen?
We're in an opioid epidemic right now. We are in an opioid epidemic. We should not be.
Shoot that shit up in their face. Girl, have you saw the Frankie? You remember Frankie? Nobody did the Frankie, girl, and many others.
Okay, wait a minute.
That good dude that be showing the streets in Philadelphia. What's the name of that street with all them heroin addicts on it? Nah, man, this is crazy.
So if somebody disagrees with you
guys, the nursing book from 1950.
Listen, just because somebody doesn't agree with you, it doesn't mean you have to go cursing them out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you should have that same advice for yourself.
I didn't cuss anybody out. I'm just like, we're in an opioid epidemic, and you can't be saying some of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Now, I don't want this, and this is what I was saying to Echo. All right, especially if y'all talking about nursing or being experts and stuff like that, you got to be careful with. So it's one thing to have an opinion, but if you come in here like some sort of expert, I'm gonna call you out. I don't care. So you guys, you didn't give Lady Nika. Why are you being so hard on me today? God, Lady Nika is tearing me up, but she's doing it in a nice way she's doing it in a nice way. But take the advice you give, Lady Nika. Let me tell you something. That's what you did. If somebody disagrees with you guys, what, you don't have to take it personal. You just say, okay, you know what, we have difference of opinion. But if you're calling yourself an expert, then you're held to a higher standard. And there's nowhere where it says that marijuana is a step down from heroin. Come on now, let's not do the trolling shit. See, I did call it out, Pizarro. Whew,
Yeah, you called it out, child.
and then, okay, Pizarro, you with this coddling
I
shit.
do want to respond to one thing. I want to one thing Trini girl said, especially before we leave up off of here or whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
As far as being the cause of people being addicted to opioids, that is exactly why. Now, when you're taking them, you still have to be responsible. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not every person's opioids that ends up getting addicted or that abuses them or misuses them. But you also have to be very, very, I know I take them. I'm not gonna lie about that. I take them. Sometimes there was times when I didn't take them. It was something I always said I never wanted to take, but it's something I'm very, very cautious about. Because I know how I've seen way too many people, and then they end up, addicted. They end up buying them off the street. They end up abusing them. You got some people to mix them with alcohol because they feel like, it doesn't do anything for them unless they drink it with a shot, at the same time. But I think opioids are definitely very dangerous. And that's why, in most states, you have to be monitored under pain management. It's something to just, willy-nilly go and take.
I agree with that, and I want you guys to know something. So I agree with most of what you guys were all saying, and I only wanted to have a discussion. I didn't mean for that discussion to go left with people cursing out my chat now, but I do agree with it. And I would be offended too if somebody told me that I was smoking something close to heroin. I don't think that's anything to play with, because I've known people to kick heroin and they would be highly offended by that, because a heroin addiction is nothing like somebody that's smoking marijuana. And just like I think we can get addicted to a lot of things, food and sex, whatever, we don't demonize that. We're not going to do that with marijuana, because that's not the intention that I had. And let me tell you something. If I came up, I mean, there was a time I did consider smoking, but for me, it's just, no, we don't need to put anything else in my body that's not natural. Okay. You should watch the History Channel documentary on marijuana. I will. So yeah, Pizarro, I'm not trying to make
There's a good one out there too, MU, about oxys with Purdue Pharmaceuticals and things, with the doctors and everything. You should watch that too. I'll find the name of it for you. It's really deep.
Thank you. Let me read this from Lady Nika. Okay, a lot of you are still mad at me about the echo thing. Let me tell you something. I apologize, you guys. That got a little heated. And then when I was saying bitch, I'm like, no, this is going left. I was not trying to call her a bitch. All right. But that did go left. Lady Nika says this was actually a good live. I appreciate your efforts. In the next conversation, you know what to expect, and keep putting facts on, be accepting of opinions. That's right.
Well, I do want to continue having these kind of conversations. So are you going to do your conversation on meth or heroin next?
Why number one, okay, I don't mind doing a conversation about meth or heroin, but it's like, okay, the reason I chose marijuana was because I could choose people that smoked and didn't smoke, right? And I thought we could have a balanced conversation about it. I don't know anybody besides myself really that struggled with meth, unless we just have a conversation about what would you want it to be about?
We could do all stimulants then. I'll talk about cocaine.
I don't mind having about it, but Pizarro, you said what?
I said or cocaine. It's just you already started the marijuana conversation. So
okay,
since this is what you're deciding to do, I'm saying which gonna be the next conversation, like not marijuana, but meth or heroin or crack, cocaine. I mean,
alcohol, mushrooms. You need to make a list in you.
Okay, maybe we could do. Okay, so the next one, do you guys want to do? You choose one, Pizarro. Choose one. Throw one out there. Since I chose marijuana, I don't care what we do it at. What's the next one?
Meth.
Okay. Oh, okay. So just a general conversation about methamphetamines. Y'all want to do that?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll look up some stuff too, so I'll be like prepared this time.
Okay, I am going to revisit this one, you guys, but later. I need to do a little bit more research, and I want to have someone that is not it'd be nice to have someone that hasn't smoked anything at all. Like, y'all know my history. Brianna says, so in conclusion, weed is a drug. Where are we with that? Are we still like kind of split on that?
Our answer is still no. No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay. Well, I think that we got. Okay, they're saying no. I'm okay. Good. Thanks, Jesse. Okay, y'all. Let's do final thoughts. I appreciate you guys for participating in the conversation. I think that I know I learned a lot. I'm gonna rewatch this because I have a different opinion from when I started. I could say that. I still say yes to it's a drug, but as far as the pros and the cons, it's not going to ruin your life if you smoke it unless, you're using it with other stuff. That's what I'm going to say. That's my opinion on it.
Well, all I gotta say is I just smoke, so and I'm about to do my conspiracy live.
When are you going live?
When we done here.
Oh, okay. Let's get ready to go over there. I'm done. I thank you for coming over. I'm gonna come in your chat.
All right.
For conspiracy, oh, she already took off. Does anybody know what her live stream is about? So we'll go over to Pizarro's. Let me tell y'all something. Who's texted so hard? Let's do final thoughts and go over there. I definitely want to revisit this, but I will talk about meth next. And I just thank y'all for hanging out with me. And I'll get better at these kind of conversations, you guys. I guess I just get really passionate about stuff. Like if you tell me you're an expert, then I'm a little careful about what I put out on the platform. But please don't be offended. All right. It became a drug the minute. Okay, Lady Nika. See, this is what I was talking about. They call it a drug, but why? And so Lady Nika saying it became a drug the minute the government found a way to make a profit. And I do not disagree with that at all.
Remember I told you that earlier?
That's what I was trying to say. Goodbye, Mo Better. What'd you say, Shelly? Or Alexa? I didn't hear you.
I said that's what I was telling you earlier. When the government, the government made money out of it either way, because when people were doing it, when it was illegal, they were arresting people in prison. We already know it's a big business. And then when they're arresting drug busters, they're getting the drugs, they're getting the money, they're getting people's cars, houses, seizing them, whatever. But then once the government looked at it and said, okay, how can we make some money off of it? How can we then later on, okay, well, weed isn't that bad, we're gonna, get it.
You're right. And what I was saying,
whatever, everything with the government
is how to profit. And you got to remember, there was that whole Just Say No campaign during the Reagan era. So what I was saying is, yes, they may classify it as a drug. Does that necessarily mean that I agree with what they classified things as? No, I always want to ask why. I do. So, all right, that helps. Alexis, you have a final thought, and thank you, S. Hutchinson, for your input. And you call things out like you're always gonna do. And
drop down and check out Pizarro's.
I'm gonna be over there too. I'll be over there.
I just want to thank you for letting me up, you and Pizarro. I think it was really good, actually. It could have been way worse. And I enjoy these type of conversations, so I really appreciate you both allowing me to be a part of this. And I think these are good conversations for us all to have. It makes our minds think differently, even hear other people out, try to hear other people out. and I'll go to Pizarro's as well. But thank you so much. And I'm going to keep my stance on it. To me, I'm going to say it's a drug because we have so many things in the drug categories of, FDA and things. So that's the way I see it. And I guess, do I think it's a harmful drug? No, but it's classified in the drug area. So, but I think GMO is way worse for people, that you eat every day, but they make prices of organic food crazy expensive for the average person. So, like, that's a whole other conversation with drugs and what's in our food and sugar and caffeine and all that good stuff. But I appreciate you opening the doors for these type of conversations as well.
And I'll get better at them. Don't worry. I will.
Yeah, it could have been worse. What are we talking about? We all could have been cussing each other out. So.
You're right. Thank you, Alexis.
All right, and thank you to the chat. I hope I didn't trigger anyone. That's not ever my purpose here. I know that my journey is different from everybody else's as well, and I'm very open if anyone ever has questions or need help with anything. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. I appreciate you. I think Themis O may be out. Themis O, are you there? Okay, I think that she's asleep. I'm gonna go over to okay, I think Themis O is asleep. So drop their release. Thank y'all for joining me at the conversation. Listen, it did get intense. I'm gonna go with Miss Pizarro's. I'm gonna say this. I'm just passionate about this kind of stuff, but I didn't mean to offend anybody, so I apologize if I did. I just wanted to have a conversation, all right? But I didn't. I do apologize, Echo. I did not mean to. I could have heard you out. I just think that I'm just careful when you tell me that, hey, you know what? I went to school for this, so this is the way that it is because it's classified as a drug. I agree with Lady Nika. I agree with Shelly. You know what? Why is it classified that way? So I'm a little careful when you call yourself an expert. And that's to anybody in my chat that's talking about they're a nurse and stuff like that. We just got to be careful because I do not compare marijuana to heroin or anything else. I compare marijuana to marijuana. And I did learn something. I never really thought about is alcohol more harmful than marijuana. And I would have to say, I think it is. All right. All right, you guys, let's go over to Pizarro's. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Feel free to like, comment, and share, and leave your comments after Lady Nika has some really good points. I appreciate you guys for participating in the conversation. And I will talk to y'all soon. And Mo Better says, if they're triggered, it's a personal problem. And Lexus, you good. Oh, thank you, Mo Better. I tried, you guys. Thank you, moderators. I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Whew.